My husband and I have been together for many years, and throughout our relationship, I have always felt a profound sense of stability, love, and mutual respect. We built our lives on a foundation of trust and companionship, and I cherished everything about him. But a few weeks ago, I made a mistake so devastating that it may have permanently altered the course of our marriage. It wasn't premeditated or malicious. It was a careless moment that now overshadows everything we've shared. It happened on an ordinary evening when we were both intoxicated. We had been drinking and smoking, letting our guards down as we often did in these relaxed, intimate moments. We laughed and talked freely, and everything felt light-hearted and playful. At one point, in the midst of our banter, he asked me a question that seemed harmless at the time. "Do you want something big?" he said, his tone teasing, clearly meant to flirt and make me smile. It was the kind of playful question we'd exchanged countless times before. But instead of responding with affection or humor, I said something that I now deeply regret. Without thinking, I blurted out, "Something bigger would be really nice." The moment those words left my mouth, I felt the weight of them, but it was already too late. His expression shifted instantly, and the atmosphere between us changed. What was meant to be a moment of connection and laughter turned into something heavy and painful. I hadn't meant to hurt him. My response wasn't calculated or even intentional. It just slipped out in a thoughtless, careless moment. But words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. And these words struck him in the most vulnerable way possible. Though there might have been some fleeting, abstract truth in what I said, an idle thought about how life or relationships could always be different. I've never felt dissatisfied with him. I love him deeply. I chose him because he is the person I want to spend my life with, and I've never regretted that decision. But my careless remark didn't just hurt him. It shattered something between us. In that moment, I inadvertently implied that he wasn't enough for me, that I had settled for less, and that he was lacking in a way he could never fix. Since that night, everything between us has changed. The man who once loved me so openly, who used to fill our home with laughter and warmth, has pulled away completely. He has retreated into himself, and it feels like he is a stranger now. He spends most of his time in the garage, a space that was once a sanctuary for his hobbies, but has now become his refuge. It's where he goes to escape from me and from the pain I've caused. Our evenings, which were once filled with conversation, affection, and companionship, are now quiet and tense. He avoids being near me, and when we do speak, our conversations are brief and strained. The intimacy we once shared, both physical and emotional, has disappeared entirely. He no longer kisses me, holds my hand, or sits close to me. Our sex life, once a vibrant and meaningful part of our relationship, has completely dissolved. I've tried to fix things. I've apologized over and over, telling him how sorry I am and how much I love him. I've assured him that I didn't mean what I said, that it was a careless mistake and not a reflection of how I truly feel. But my apologies seem to fall on deaf ears. He's told me he can't trust my words anymore, that they feel hollow and insincere. Worse, he believes that my comment confirmed his worst fears, that I've always thought he wasn't good enough, that I've been faking my enjoyment when we're intimate, and that I've secretly wished for something or someone better. None of this is true, but no matter how much I try to explain, I can't convince him otherwise. Every time he looks at me, I see the pain and insecurity in his eyes. It's as if my words have created a permanent wound in his mind, a shadow that will forever taint the way he sees me and our relationship. Feeling desperate to repair the damage, I suggested that we see a marriage counselor together. I thought that maybe, with professional help, we could work through the pain and find a way to rebuild. But he dismissed the idea outright. He rolled his eyes, shook his head, and walked away without saying a word. Feeling lost and helpless, I decided to see a counselor on my own. I poured out everything to her. The comment I made, his reaction, and how things have spiraled since then. She listened carefully and gave me advice that I wasn't ready to hear. She told me that many couples don't recover from moments like this. She warned me to prepare for the possibility of divorce, but also encouraged me to keep trying to show my love and commitment. Her advice was to stop pressuring him for forgiveness and instead focus on small, meaningful actions that could slowly rebuild trust. I followed her guidance as best as I could. I tried to act normal around him, smiling when he came home, telling him I loved him, and doing little things to show I cared. But no matter what I did, he remained distant, cold, and unresponsive. One morning, overwhelmed by guilt and heartbreak, I broke down completely. I begged him to talk to me, to say anything at all. His response was brutal. He told me to go F*** myself, that he didn't care anymore, and that the only reason he hadn't filed for divorce was because he didn't want me to take his house or his money. Hearing those words felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. I tried to explain, again, that I never meant to hurt him, that I love him, and that I value him for who he is. But he cut me off, telling me to stop trying and to leave him alone. I felt completely broken, like I had destroyed everything we had built together, and there was no way to undo the damage. Then, just as I was beginning to lose all hope, something unexpected happened. A few days later, he came into our bedroom. Tears were streaming down his face as he told me that he loves me, that he regrets some of the things he said, and that he doesn't want to get divorced. He admitted, however, that he's still deeply hurt and needs more time to process everything. He asked for space to work through his feelings, and I agreed. Now, I find myself in a place of uncertainty. I know the pain I cause him is profound, and I don't know if we'll ever fully recover from this. But I love him, and I'm not giving up on our marriage. I'm trying to be patient and understanding, giving him the space he needs while continuing to show him, in small ways, how much he means to me. This experience has taught me a painful lesson about the power of words and the lasting impact they can have, even when spoken without malice. I don't know what the future holds for us. The road ahead will be long and difficult, and there are no guarantees. But I do know that I'm willing to fight for him, for us, and for the life we've built together. No matter how uncertain things feel now, I refuse to give up on the man I love.